The text came through while I was standing in my parents' driveway, snow crunching under my shoes. She's late again. Don't let her embarrass you tonight. It was from my mother. I stared at my phone longer than I should have, the cold biting my fingers. My wife, Sarah, was inside our car, fixing our son's scarf with shaking hands. She'd barely spoken the whole drive. I told myself it was nerves. Christmas always did this to her. My parents, their expectations, the quiet judgment that lived in every compliment. I had no idea how much worse it was about to get. Inside, the house smelled like roast turkey and pine. Laughter filled the dining room. My sister hugged me. My dad clapped me on the shoulder. Sarah smiled politely, the way she'd learned to do here. Small, careful, invisible. Dinner started normally enough. Clinking glasses. Forced cheer. My son babbling happily in his high chair. Then my mother stood up. She tapped her fork against her glass, smiling too wide. I just want to say something important, she said. Since it's Christmas. A time for honesty. My stomach dropped. She turned to Sarah. Some women are born mothers. Others, try. The room went quiet. My father cleared his throat but didn't stop her. You're always tired. Always overwhelmed, my mother continued. The house isn't kept properly. The child is glued to screens. And frankly, it's embarrassing. You're a failed mother. I heard my son whine. I heard my sister gasp softly. What I didn't hear was myself speaking. I was frozen. Sarah's face went pale, then red, then empty. She didn't cry. She just nodded once, stood up, and walked out. That should have been the moment I followed her. Instead, I stayed. And that's where everything truly began to fall apart. After that night, Sarah changed. Not dramatically. Quietly. She stopped defending herself. Stopped asking for help. Stopped waiting up for me. I told myself she was processing. Healing. But there were signs I ignored. Missed calls she explained away. Her phone always face down. Late grocery trips that took too long. A new password on her phone she claimed she forgot to tell me. When I asked if she was okay, she smiled and said, I'm fine. Just tired. I believed her because believing her was easier than facing what I'd done. What I hadn't done, at Christmas dinner. Then one night, while folding laundry, her phone buzzed on the bed. I hate that they did that to you. You deserve better. The name wasn't familiar. My chest tightened. I didn't unlock the phone. I didn't confront her. I just put it back where it was and told myself I was paranoid. But paranoia has a way of growing teeth. Over the next few weeks, the messages kept coming. She laughed at texts she wouldn't show me. She stepped outside to take calls. She showered longer. Dressed nicer. Not for me. For someone else. The confirmation came accidentally. I was using her tablet to look up a recipe when a chat popped open. I wish I could take you away from all of this, he'd written. She replied. Being with you reminds me I'm not broken. I sat there for a long time, the tablet warm in my hands, my heart pounding like it was trying to escape. She hadn't cheated physically. Not yet. But emotionally, she was already gone. When I confronted her, she didn't scream or deny it. She just sat down across from me and said, Do you know what it felt like to be humiliated like that? And you did nothing. I was shocked, I said weakly. I didn't know what to do. She nodded. Neither did I. That's why I talked to someone who listened. She cried then. Real, shaking sobs. She told me about the nights she lay awake replaying my mother's words. About how small she felt. About how alone. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. But he made me feel human again. I wanted to be angry. I was angry. But underneath it all was guilt so heavy it made it hard to breathe. I hadn't protected her. I hadn't chosen her. The affair ended after that conversation. Not cleanly. Not without pain. But she chose to stay. And I chose, finally, to stand up. I confronted my parents. I told them their words broke my wife. That my silence broke her more. My mother cried. My father apologized awkwardly. It didn't fix everything. Some things don't get fixed. They get carried. Christmas looks different now. Quieter. Boundaried. Real. Sa still struggles with confidence. I still struggle with regret. But when my son looks at her like she's his whole world, I see the truth my parents never did. She was never a failed mother. I was the one who failed first. And living with that is my penance, and my promise, to never stay silent again.